What is up, my good people? This is the Mega Bull. Now, here's a chart showing you the Fibonacci extension from the previous, Bitcoin bull run all the way until now. And we see how it, was just short of its 4.236 Fibonacci extension. However, we see that it's done this retrace, right? Now, I think there's a lot of interesting factors that are happening right now in the market. And I'm going to show you some stuff that I think is very interesting. Now, previously, you've heard of what's been happening with Congress, right? And also what happened with the Federal Reserve presidents, in which they sold out. And if you follow Blockchain Backer, which is one of my favorite watches, he puts a lot of content in relation to crypto and the stock market. Now, there was this article that was put out by Zero Hedge, which says bipartisan coalition demands vote on legislation to bar Congress from trading stocks. So, as we see Bitcoin, right? If this is the top, which seems like it might very well be, there's going to be a retrace. But there's been interesting correlations between the crypto space as well as the stock market. And if this happens to come in as you see the stock market making that final push, that's going to be very interesting. Here's why. Now, the federal debt to GDP levels in, for as far as you can tell here, from 1789 all the way till 2021, we see how it's risen, right? Every war seems to have been, the ratio seems to be going up. You see the Civil War, it went up. The World War I, it went up. World War II, it spiked exponentially. And, to date, it's above 125%. And those are very, very high levels that are hard to come back from. There's serious repercussions that come from that, right? Or you can choose to ignore it, which is just kicking the can down the road even further. So, with that in mind, you look at the state of the markets and how high the bubble has been inflated, and how we're so close to a full one more extension in the Dow Jones, right? And we will reach a 4.236. And that's something to keep an eye on, especially when you're, keeping in mind the debt levels, which were almost $30 trillion in debt here in the US. And when you see the federal debt to GDP ratio, those things are not good. Now, as we're looking at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin Fuel posted this chart, which is, in line with, Blockchain Backer and other TA analysts out there. And what they'll do is put out these charts that show how the Bitcoin dominance seems to keep dropping, right? This is for this year, sorry. And here is from the last Bitcoin bull run. And you see how similar these are. And as the Bitcoin dominance falls, that's when you have alt season. And I think as we look at this chart here, that Bitcoin has fallen. This is the price. And as it makes its retrace, you'll see the alt season take off. Okay? And this is what this chart is indicating here. Now, when we look over here at what Blockchain Backer has posted, he presumes that there's going to be a double bottom. So here we're making the first bottom, and he says it's a possibility that we might just have that double bottom before Bitcoin ends up going into that retrace. It needs to find that bottom somewhere. And it's insane how it's followed this fractal to the T, right? This was something he posted January 26th. And now it's the 27th, right? And it's literally following this. So if we end up bottoming out here and retracing, we could see a massive alt season, which could be in line with the stock market making that final push. So that's something to monitor and keep in mind as you look out to take profits from whatever coins you have. Now, I've made videos about several assets that have historical charts, right, dating back to the last bull run, in which a lot of these assets, especially like a Bitcoin Cash, Dash, and Zcash, right, that are all well below the 0.236. Litecoin is also below the 0.236. And I'm showing you these charts again so you can see how it's just a matter of time before these take off. And I'm showing you here what these charts look like. Now, the one that you have to keep your eyes on is XRP, because historically this has been a massive rocket. So keep that in mind. Keep all this information in mind as we head into what will very likely be alt season here soon. So with that in mind, like and subscribe to the channel. This is the Mega Bull Experience, and I'll see you in the next one.